Right. You got it.
Good morning, beautiful people, or good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where you are in this beautiful world. I'm so glad to have you here live with us because today we have an amazing guest with us who is victorious beyond belief. An amazing story coming from a little place close to his heart. We might have a little background, but that's okay. So stay with us. I will bring back my guest and we'll get it going.
Hello, hello.
Good morning. I think we're going to have so much
Wow,
fun.
hello, hello,
Today.
hello.
This internet connection is it's going to
Yes,
be so
yes.
much fun. Eric, how are you today?
Hey, there you go. Technology at its best, right?
Yes.
Super good and getting better. How about yourself, Miss Teodora? Excited to
Very
be
good.
here.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I'm so
Yes,
happy to bring you live to my
yes.
audience so that we get to know you and we get to know a little bit about what you do and just share with us, the victorious Eric. We also have Tom Ginn with us. Good morning, Tom. Good to see you. So, Eric, tell where are you?
Hi, Tom. I am right now actually via satellite at the Black Rifle Coffee Company in the Copperfield district of the great city of Houston, Texas,
Oh
the
my
fourth
God.
largest city in the nation, I might add. Yes, and growing constantly. But I'm excited to be here
Thank you. Thank you. Tell us,
and
how do we
grateful
know
for
each
the
other?
opportunity and honored that you even thought about actually having me on your show.
You're victorious. How do we know each other?
Uh-oh.
Uh, we can hear you. I think it's a little delay on your end, but we can
Well,
hear you just fine.
there's a connection issue, of course, but I'm assuming you're saying, well, victorious.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me okay
yeah.
or
So,
no?
how am I being victorious?
How do we know each other? No,
Well, grateful first and foremost for the yes. Can you hear me?
we can hear you just fine. The connection from your end is working great. I think you can hear me with a delay,
Oh
but
wow.
is it bad?
Yes.
It's bad. What do you think we should do? How do we overcome this and how do we become victorious in a situation like this? We can hear you just fine.
Uh okay. So we're just gonna go for it. Okay.
Okay.
Victorious. Okay, well me being victorious actually of course the life that we live, the life that I've lived. I understand the fact that me being creation, and this is not me as an individual, but mankind, period. Understanding the fact that we're built and made in his image first and foremost. And as he's created us in his image, he desires that we have relationship with him and get to know him. So through the circumstances that we have to endure, and I've been through plenty of them, the circumstances that we've had have drawn us closer to him, ultimately understanding the fact that our purpose is to really get to know him first and foremost. And as we get to know him more, the more we understand what our purpose may be in going in and going out. And not only the things that happen to us don't happen to us, they happen for us. We're being shaped into his image and becoming closer and closer to him. And as we get to know him more, we understand our path and our purpose as individuals. And that's different paths for different individuals. And we all have those things that we have to endure in order to get to that path. that are tailor made for us, that allows us to be able to walk according to what He desires that we walk in.
Amen. I think you speak the truth there, and I think it's so important to have a relationship with God, and that bringing us closer to who we are and understand who we are. Um, I don't know if you can you hear me, because we can hear you perfect, but when
I
I
can
talk to
now.
you, is it good?
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, Eric, how do we know each other?
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. We met each other. I was it. Are you part of the Gittimer group? I know Grow Live is kind of where I started to hear that accent and see that personality. That's where we came from. So shouts out to Ken Walls. Really appreciate that guy. That guy is something special to many of us. You know, and I'd say actually right now, currently, I see him as America's networker, as the world's networker. He has this thing to where he's connecting people, and it's a phenomenal thing that he's doing, encouraging people to go live and understand the fact that as we're going live, we're developing more into what we're supposed to be doing as far as our purpose and our plans go. You know, so it's a phenomenal thing
Yes,
that he's doing. But Ken Walls to Grow Live is definitely how we met. Hey, Scott Ricard, our guy. I noticed that as he
yes,
came through. Good morning, Scott. I want to say thanks to Scott, if you don't mind. Just kind of take a minute to just share with how Scott is really just intensely supporting everybody that's in the Grow Live group and in the Get 'em morning calls as well. And thank God for people like Scott. He keeps us all going. He's the encourager. So he's a
yes.
great guy. But that's how we
Scott is
met. I know I'm
amazing.
babbling and I'm saying
I
more than
have
what you
to
asked
have
me, but yeah, Ken Walls is how I got to know you and the beautiful
yes.
person that you are.
Thank you. I think we have to have Scott on our show, on my show, on your show, and we have to bring him
Yes.
out to the world. He's so amazing, such an amazing person.
Oh, definitely.
Um, so yeah, Scott, thank you for being here. Scott, good morning to you too. So moving forward, Eric, I know you said earlier that you're in Houston, but where were you born? Where are you coming from? Were you born in Houston?
I was actually born in Houston. Yes, I was born in Houston. The only time that I hadn't been in the state, as far as a resident goes, I had some time in the military in the mid '90s. So yeah,
Right.
from '94 to '98, I was actually in the military. I was stationed. Well, the ship that I was on was stationed in Japan. I was in the Navy. Go Navy. So from '94 to '98, and from 94 to '96, I was stationed in Yokosuka, Japan. And from there, I was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, from '96 to 1998.
Wow.
Aboard the USS Monterey.
Thank you so much for serving the country and for giving your time. And then after that, you left the service, and did you start your business right away, or did you get into just work?
Well, I had a couple of traumatic things that happened in that time. After I got out, about a month and a half after I got out, I had, well, my nephew, who was actually kind of like a brother, like the younger brother that I never had, because of the fact that my sister moved back home with the family, ended up getting killed in a hit and run accident, you
Mm,
know, and some things just really kind of, wow, had me reflecting. I had to go back and kind of re-examine myself because it was a shock. The fellow had just graduated from high school and he was so full of life himself. So that happened, and I found myself really just kind of, well, actually asking God, as we all do, why? Why did that happen to him? You know, why? Because he was so young and his life was just starting. But I felt within me, you know, I felt the Spirit of God saying, okay, yeah, I took him because I was prepared for him. He was ready, but there's work for you to do. So I had to go back and kind of re-examine myself and check and see where my world was and what were the things that I was doing. And that was really kind of a turning point for me and my relationship with God that really started taking my walk with Him seriously. And
What a
from there,
blessing.
I started, yeah, re-examining myself and seeing some things from there, and really started getting serious about my relationship with God. Yeah, actually grew up in the church, but I had that thing that a lot of people refer to as fire insurance. The fear of hell was really more of what it was about at that time. And from there, after that accident, I started getting, as I said, getting serious about my relationship with God and started studying His truth and getting to know Him. And along the lines came the fact of me understanding that I was called to be a mouthpiece among many mouthpieces that He has. But I have my own personal call from there. But it blossomed from there. And then several other trials and tribulations. Got married. Actually, I got married 6 months before I got out. But when I got out, of course, the growing pains of marriage occur as we're in doing that. I had children, of course, and trying to really just search and really develop what He was calling me to do and who He was calling me into.
And now you're part of the community church, right? And you're serving in the church as well, and you're helping other people. Is the sound coming to you?
Yes, yes, yes. I think I got all of that. Yeah, so the church that I grew up in, actually, yeah, during that time, I actually crossed over. Uh oh.
Uh-oh, did I lose you? I think we're having such a difficult time hearing. You have a hard time hearing what I say, but I hear you just fine.
No, there we go. You're coming back now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay. So I heard you ask me about the church. I guess you said, well, the church that I was in, the church that I grew up in as a child, I'm not currently a part of right now, but that is where I got my grooming. But when we first got married, my wife and I, we realized we were actually in church pretty much all day. So we knew that that was going to be an issue with our children. But got turned on to a young couple, actually, well, Rob and Lacey Lewis, who's actually, well, a pastor. Well, he's a pastor himself now, and she's a up and coming gospel recording artist. But yeah, we've actually kind of, well, they brought us along. It's my wife's cousin, and we went to go visit another church. After the second visit, I knew that that was the place that I was supposed to be, and God pulled me in from there. And they started grooming me and developing me. Of course, a couple of changes as the human experience goes. But Apostles Timothy and Joyce James, they servant of God, which is what a minister is. A lot of people use that word minister and sling it around like it's something glamorous, but it's really just, we're just called to be servants of God. It's really what that is. We're people who share God's truth and God's love with other people through our experiences and through the truth that comes from Him. So that is what I'm currently doing now. I'm serving as a assistant pastor at Blessed Assurance Christian Assembly, which is BACA for short, is what we call it.
That's so beautiful. I'm gonna talk slow so that you can hear me, and everything that I say this comes to you on time so that we don't
I
have
apologize. I don't know whether it's me or you, but yeah, we're having some major. Yeah, I can't hear you
it's
that well. I hope I'm asking the questions, answering the questions that you're asking me.
you're I'm almost thinking that I should maybe type and post my questions because then you can read them, and then I'll just be here. But I think this works. I want to ask you. So going from the church and from serving others, I know that you also have a business, and I know that you're a father of 4 children, and you're a husband of almost 25 years. And so that's a victorious attitude in life, to where you know you can do more, and you know you're doing it all. We all are. But I want to ask you, what would you tell somebody that wants to start doing something more than they are, but something is holding them? How do we help them? How do we push them to go further in life and do more for themselves and the family, and not be afraid? Can you hear me? There's no sound that comes to you?
This okay. I heard the part about having 4 children and serving. So I'm gonna try to put this together as best I can. But I hear you now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I
you're
have a
breaking up.
I have a feeling this is not going to work out today, because we just have such a bad connection in the cafe place. If you can hear me, no, nothing,
Yeah,
nothing.
I I, I heard you partially.
Okay. I think we need to have a we definitely need to have a better connection.
Okay, okay.
Could you hear me? Yes, Tom, you're right. Technology is a challenge. I'm not discouraged. I want Eric to be able to hear me, and I'm at home. I'm on my own network here, so I think the problem we have is the connection that Eric is using. And can
Yeah.
you hear me? Or if I'm breaking up and I'm not making sense?
Oh, I hear you real good now for some reason.
Okay, good. I mean, your image is stuck, but that's okay. We have a good image of you. So
Okay.
earlier, what I was saying is that you're such a victorious person in my eyes, because going from the military to being, a father of 4 beautiful children, and serving others in the church, and you're so victorious. So what would you tell somebody that wants to do more, wants to get out there and do something, but they just don't know where to start? They don't feel victorious, but they want to be. How do we guide them? What is it that we can tell them, to start somewhere? Where do people have to start?
Mm. Well, it starts, I believe, more than anything, with understanding who, not who you are, but who you are becoming. And to get the foundation of that, really, you have to go back to who created you. That's the foundation.
Uh-oh, Eric, now we can hear you. Oh, what are we doing with this connection? Tom, did this ever happen to you? I feel like we lost Eric completely, and I feel like we need to bring Eric in the studio, because um, when technology is giving us a hard time. But you know what? Not just technology, because so many times life gives us a hard time. So many times we found ourselves with hiccups, and we just lost Eric. Um, so this is a perfect example of what victorious people do when life throws curveballs at them, right? We had such a bad connection and we actually lost Eric, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get Eric back in the studio on a perfectly clear connection where we get to talk to him. It's just a matter of time. Scott says maybe have him jump out of the connection and try to get back in and see if that helps any. Thank you, Scott. What are we gonna do? I think we're gonna reschedule this because I want everybody to benefit from what Eric has to teach us, and I want this to be a good interview where we can hear each other, we can see each other, and we can learn from Eric because the message he has and the presence and everything that we can learn from him is so much value, is so much powerful. And I want that. I want that for myself. I want that for everybody, for all my viewers. I want that for the world. So I'm going to make it happen. And just an example of what being victorious mean. It means that we don't get to be knocked down by a problem, a technological problem, a connection issue, a live situation, flat tire during the day, or anything that life brings at us. We don't get to let it take us down. So what we're gonna do is reschedule this, bring Eric back on a good connection so we can learn from him, let him guide us and teach us what it is that he did to be victorious and how can we be like that. So I'm going to bring Eric back at a different time because I think this is the best decision that we can do now. So stay tuned for another reminder for the time that works best for Eric. I will be open and available when it works for him, and I will post another reminder. So stay tuned, and thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for helping me be victorious. Thank you for sharing the videos and sharing Eric when we're able to bring him back. And happy Easter, beautiful people. This is a Good Friday. And just like Eric said, we have to go back to seeing who we are, what it is that we do, and how can we be better. I love you, and I will see you next time with Eric.